Hello, everyone. Welcome to the EBM Scholars Show. This is Ernest Boniface Makulilo, EBM himself, and today I'm talking about US student visa interview. There are so many types of visa, but we talked about tourist visa or visiting visa, which is a B2 visa, how you have to apply to get the interview and all those other things. But today we are going to talk about student visa interview. As you know, EBM Scholars TV show, we are talking much about these opportunities, especially education opportunity. So what is the best way of talking student opportunities rather than also adding the main component, which is how you can be able to prepare for yourself for the USC student visa interview, F1 visa interview, when you go to the visa interview at the consular at the US Embassy. Okay, this is Ernest Boniface Makulilo, and I welcome you to my show. And before we continue, please subscribe to my channel. Here, there is a subscription button. Click the button here, it will take you to subscribe, and there is a bell, you can click there for notification. And also, I can put on suggested here some of the videos where I've talked about tourist visa and other scholarship opportunities. So these procedures, which I'm going to explain to you how to prepare for the visa interview, doesn't matter whether you are paying for yourself, whether you go to scholarship. So in the end, it doesn't matter, as I said, whether you have been paid, you have scholarship which is funded by US government, by individual, by a friend, no matter who is sponsoring you, or whether who is helping you to pay for your tuition and fees and living expenses, in the end, you have to attend at the US Embassy for the visa interview. This is one of the main part people get scared because they do not know how to get ready and prepare themselves. So before I go and just randomly saying these are some of the questions, it will not help you a lot. At the end, I will mention some of the few questions you can prepare. You have to know in advance so that you can be able to respond to those ones. So I wrote some of the notes here, and I'll be going through some of these notes, making sure that I capture everything I'm supposed to let you know. So before I go to the specific questions, I'll go to the logic behind, or the main parts of the interview, and what is the logic behind on the questions you will be asked at the visa interview. So the questions have been divided into three main categories. Category number one is the main part of you with the university you are going to study. You applied for the school. They want to know a lot about whether it is you who applied, how did you apply, what level of education are you going to study, why that level of education, why that particular degree program, and all those questions. I'll just come back to those one. But that is the main part, is the academic part, which they want to understand your level of education. Where did you study? Why do you want to go to study at this university? Why did you choose University A? How many universities did you apply? Blah, 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 blah. So that is the first part of the main part of the interview. The second part, okay, now you got admission, you have this excitement and everything, it comes to the financial, the most difficult part. Who is financing? Who is paying for your education expenses? Who is paying for your living expenses? Who is paying for your medical coverage, health insurance? They want to know that. You don't need to come here and wander around. So things of that nature. So on that way, whether you have scholarship, I'll talk about it, whether you have other things you needed to have, like someone is paying for your school fees and living expenses, I'll tell you what kind of documents you needed to have to show there. And there will be some follow-up questions, and especially if you are paying for yourself, there will be so many questions. But then, apart from the financial part, then it comes to the other part, is immigration part. The future plan. Are you planning to come back to your home country, or you want to take this as opportunity to go to US and become immigrant in the United States of America? So there are so many questions on that particular area. So those are the three main parts. And if I go back again in a very quick way, number one is academic part, which they want to know your background of education and where you are going to study, why, and all other crazy stuff. Second part is the financial situation, or who is paying for your school fees, living expenses, all other things, flight ticket, everything. And the last part is the part about your future plan and immigration, whether you'll be able to come back. You have to convince the consular that you are coming back after studies, and I'll go to various questions about that. Do you have any questions up to that moment before I continue? Go back to down to the comment and put any question you have, and I promise you 100% I will answer your questions. And if you want a particular link, I will be able to give you a particular link so that you can be able to do that. So by understanding the logic behind these kind of questions, now I can be able to give you these kind of some sample questions and why the logic behind of those kind of questions. As I said, when you say you are going to academic part, okay, so you are going to study in America for bachelor degree. So what is your current education status? Or are you having high school degree education? Do you have a degree? So there are some questions. There are some people, they have bachelor degree, and you are going to the US Embassy to do another bachelor degree. That is even myself, if I'm the one who is interviewing you, tell me, why do you want to spend over $100,000 to go to study another bachelor degree? You studied sociology, now you want to study political science. Why? So there are questions they want to ask you. Okay, yes, you have high school. Now you are going to this university. Why that university? Why do you want to study in America? Why that degree program? You need to have those kind of answers. So there are so many questions around there. You applied maybe Berea College, or you applied the University of Wisconsin, Madison. Why Wisconsin, Madison, and not University of Notre Dame? That's the question. Overall, they want to see your main part of the application. They want to see you participated, whether to apply. Even if someone else helped you, you had various options. You weighed in so many options. You say, for instance, I applied maybe 3 universities or 5 universities. Out of those universities I applied, I got 2. Maybe I applied University of Notre Dame. I applied maybe University of Wisconsin, Madison, and I applied University of Indiana. The purpose, you have to explain the purpose of applying these universities, because I want to go into Midwest, because the Midwest is a little bit more, more affordable compared if I can go to the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. Maybe it'll be more expensive. So you can have that way. You can say, okay, I decided to apply more universities in California and Florida because of the weather. Maybe I have some breathing problems, so I don't want to be in the snow. Things of that nature. They want to see you, the reasoning behind why you chose this particular university. You can, because of the environment, because of the health reason, or it can become, okay, I'm applying for I applied for University of George Mason because George Mason has the best program in America for conflict resolution. You can say that. So that's why this was number 1 priority. So you needed to have a reasoning behind why you applied at University A. Why did you apply that particular program? Why did you consider this kind of state over the other state? In case you applied for more than one state, how did you come into conclusion to this one? They want to see all those kind of things. They don't want just someone in the US just fill everything for you and just you are going there and you're going to disappear. So that is the main part. So I can ask you some few questions about that. Okay, they might ask you about your GPA. So I'm going to read some of the questions here. Why do you want to study this particular degree? Why do you want to study in the United States of America and not London, in England, or don't want to go to Australia, University of Sydney, or you don't want to go to University of Frankfurt or Bremen, University of Bremen in Germany? Why don't you want to go to study in the University of Oslo in Norway? Or why don't you want to go to study in Hong Kong? You want specifically to go study in the US? Or why do you want to study specifically in this particular university? Or why do you want to go to specialize in this degree program? How many universities did you apply? They want to see you, the options you had before you go there. If you apply for master's degree, what degree did you study in bachelor degree? What is your GPA? They might ask you those ones, even if they have those on hand. Okay, how long did you study, or things of that nature. So it's just about that. Okay, you are going to study bachelor degree. How long are you going to, do you know it is a 4 years degree in the US? It's not 3 years like some other countries. Or if you are going to study community college, what is the plan? Like, why do you want to go to study community college? Because if you already have a bachelor degree, why do you want to go to study another bachelor degree? Or if you have a master's degree, why are you going to spend money to do another master's degree? They might ask you those kind of questions. Okay. Okay. Other things like, so those are some of the questions they might just bring to you so that they want to understand kind of that. Yeah. And these questions, they might be relating later to what is your future plan. I'll come back to that one. So then we come to the main part. And the other main part too can be the financial responsibility. Who is sponsoring you? Who is going to pay for your cost of studies in the United States of America? That means, did you get a scholarship? Or are you going to pay for your own? When I say self-financing, it can be yourself, can be your relative, whatever. I'll come to the relative part. If you have a scholarship, it doesn't matter whether it's a US government program, like Fulbright. When I got it, you are given the scholarship letter with what we call DSC 2019, which is used like I-20 for the students. But if you come as a student directly, you have I-20, and on the I-20, it will be indicating who will be paying for you. So if you have a scholarship, like for instance, for my case, when I was going to the University of San Diego, one among the best universities with a scholarship, I had a scholarship letter. Like Ernest Boniface Makulilo has been awarded this amount of money to cover tuition and the fees at this university. So that letter, then that amount and the university was put into the I-20. Then I had another scholarship which is called the Rotary Ambassadorial Scholarship, which was going to cover cost of living, and the stipend indicated how much it was. So that one was going to cover those kind of things. So if you have a scholarship which is covering cost of living and tuition and fees, those two letters will also be included into I-20. Because the university, in order to admit you, International Students Office will send you I-20. And the I-20, one of the main part of I-20 is who will be paying for your course of education. Whether you have assistantship from the university, whether it is another external scholarship like Fulbright, whether it is Rotary Ambassadorial Scholarship, whether it is just like any other scholarship, it will be indicating there. If it is indicated there, that means you don't need to have any other bank statement situation. Bank statement is needed only if you don't have a scholarship and you indicate someone else will be paying for your cost of education. So, the first part I said, if you have a scholarship with a scholarship letter, which will be having a letter, but also that letter or the amount and who has committed to pay for that scholarship will be included in the I-20. That means if it's included in the I-20, you'll be able to have that I-20 along with the scholarship letter, along with your transcripts, along with your passport, and all other things. Then you'll be able to get the visa. So if you have a scholarship, there are so many other questions you will not be asked. They cannot ask you, what is the name of your sponsor? Where does he work? How many kids he has? They don't have those kind of questions. They'll just tell you, congratulations for getting this, to get this scholarship. How did you apply? They can ask you that kind of question. For my case, when I went for the interview, the first one was a little bit different because it was a Fulbright and it is a US government program. They are the one who gave me scholarship. So the questions were not just congratulations, whatever. The second part, the second time when I went for the interview, I had a $60,000 scholarship, Rotary Ambassadorial Scholarship of $24,000, and I had the John B. Crocker Scholarship, which was $36,000. So combined was $60,000 to use in one academic year. So with that one, what they told me, congratulations, that scholarship was very difficult to get. So they just invited me to talk to the students on how they can prepare their life to when they come to America as international students. So you don't have much of the questions if you have scholarship. They might ask you, how did you apply? Where did you learn this scholarship? What is the requirement for scholarship to get? Just the basic simple questions, things of that nature. But if you don't have a scholarship, So the question is, who is paying for your cost of living? So you will say, my father. The question is, show us the bank statement. How much money is your father has in the bank statement? How many kids? How many siblings do you have? How many kids your father has? What are they doing? What is the job or business of your father or your mother? They can ask those kind of questions. Oh, my uncle is paying for you my school fees. Okay, that's good. Very generous. That is very generous for your uncle. But the question is, how many kids does your uncle has? And how many kids of your uncle have been sponsored by your uncle to study outside of the country? That is the very good question. But does your uncle love you more than he is loving his kids? Why is not he sponsoring others, is sponsoring you? And why is your uncle or your father or your aunt is paying 20,000 US dollar per year for you to come to study Bachelor of Political Science while you can study Political Science at the University of Nairobi for $1,000? Why? Why are you investing 20,000 for the degree which you can study in your home country? It is sometimes it's okay to say I'm going to study medical. That means I want to have high quality. But political science, sociology. So sometimes you have to look for all those kind of programs you're going to study to convince like it will be something different when you go to study there. Not like, yeah. So those are the things they want to do that. Okay. Another thing might be question about your sponsor. Like, okay, the bank statement will be there, but what other assets this person has? So those are the questions they want to know about the annual income of your relative. How is the mode of payment? The bank statement, is that bank statement on the name of your uncle, or is just like another bank statement of auntie, another bank statement of uncle, another bank statement of your grandfather, another person? Like, if you have like those, is just like, how do these people like really helping you, or you want to just the visa, and once you arrive in America you just disappear on the street? Those are the things they have to be sure of before you go. So if, again, there's some people in Tanzania, or in Kenya, or in Uganda, or in Malawi, or in Cambodia, or in Nepal, or in Ghana, when they are applying, they can apply, but they have individual in the US who is endorsing them, who is going to sponsor them. Like this person, apart from living expenses, okay, will stay at my house. So that means it's just the cost of tuition and fees. So that person in the US has to write some financial affidavit form, or has to write a letter to the consular that I'm so and so, a US citizen with this passport number, which is attached here. I live on this particular address. I'm committing myself to offer free board and room and board for so and so while he's pursuing studies here. For that case, the cost which will be covered will be the cost of education, which will be more about tuition fees, which is getting the assistance from the university. But the place to stay will stay at my apartment or from my house, and this is the proof I own this apartment, I own this house, things that nature. So you have that kind of ways. Okay. So that is the second part, which is the financial part. And the last part is the very interesting part, the future plan. What is your plan after finishing studies? Are you coming for bachelor degree? Do you plan to go for master's degree and a PhD? They want to know those kind of questions. Don't go ahead of yourself and start like promising like a politician. You need to have a plan. But overall, you have to show that you'll be coming back to your home country. Yes, there is opportunity. After finishing studies, there is what we call OPT, optional practical training of 1 year, which you are given a work permit to work for 1 year for science and technology programs. If you are science and technology programs, it is 18 months. You can get that opportunity to get work experience. So you can say, okay, my plan is after my bachelor degree or for my master's degree, I'll just do my at least 8 months of work experience. After that, I have to come here. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, something which you have been working, or something you need to show attachment to your country. And what do you want to do with your degree upon returning? They might ask you a question, like it cannot be a straightforward question like, will you come back to your home country? No. You are single. Assume you are there and the son or the daughter of so-and-so fall in love with you. Are you planning to get married in the United States of America? If you say yes, we know for sure your plan is not to come to study in America. Your plan, among other things, is to get green card here through marriage. So for that case, denied, no visa. So you need to be careful on what you are going up. We want someone, you say, my purpose is to go to America to study. You have to show you are going to study. Upon finishing, I'll be coming back to my home country with the degree in this kind of engineering, electrical engineering. I want to see how I can transform my village and the community in this rural area to do the solar system, and I can help on this kind of area. I'm going to study medicine, but if I come back, I want to do 1, 2, 3. Oh, there is a problem with dental hygiene and everything with the people in my community. I'll provide a free clinic on this kind of area. So I'll do my OPT, practical training, volunteering in the hospitals, and upon returning, I'm going to make sure that people are benefiting from my education. So those are the things they needed to know. Like, do you have a relative in the United States of America? They can ask that question directly, but also that is a question you are going to have in the DS 160, which is the form you'll be using to fill for visa interview in order to be called for the visa interview. So if you are asking for that question, don't lie. Be honest all the time, because one lie, you are denied the visa. If you say you don't have any relative, while that relative is already in the US and wrote you, that is one of the relative, you are toasted, my friend. So that's how you need to do. Be honest and make sure that you have that information. They are not going to hold it to make against you because maybe your relative is here in the US and decide to become illegal. That person will be dealt on his own because he's adult. But if you lie, that means you are going to hide something over there. Do you have any relative in the US? What is that relative is doing? Have you communicated with that relative? Lately, your sister, your brother. What is the immigration status of your relative? So things of that nature. Are you married? Will you get married while you are in the US? If you are married, you have kids. Do you plan to have your wife or kids to accompany you to get the dependent visa, F2 visa? If you say yes, obviously you need to show bigger bank statement. How are you going to cover the dependents under F2 visa? Are you planning to work in the US after finishing your studies and just stay there? Are you planning to play green card lottery? So there are so many questions they want to know you are planning after finishing your studies. Yeah. So those are some of the questions you'll be asked in the interview. But overall, all questions are revolving into 3 main areas. The first part is just education, school you are going to study, your background in education, why that is school, and all other things. The second part is the part of the financial part. And the third part is the part of the plan to show that you are committed and you have intention of coming back to your home country upon finishing your studies. So don't say, oh, I'm very much committed. I'm just the most patriotic person you have ever seen. I must come back to my home country because I have a girlfriend. Really? Is your girlfriend telling you to come back to your country? You need to have stronger reason as to why you'll be coming to your home country. And not just coming back to your home country, I'll be coming, and what are you going to become upon arriving in your home country? How are you going to be the agent of change in your home community, in your society, in your country? That's what you want to hear. Not just I get the education, I'm planning to become a politician, I become a corrupt guy. No. So those are some of the questions as to why you are going to prepare and why someone is going to be denied the visa. You are denied the visa because you are going there, you don't have enough bank statement, you do not know where the university you applied, which state it is. Okay, so why are you going to America again? You do not know even the University of Texas is in Texas. Or you do not know University of California, Los Angeles is in California. Why even did you apply? They know for sure this is just another way, a tricky why you want to go to America. So please, I beg you, do your research. Make sure that you understand where the university is, the city, lifestyle, and everything. You need to have the reason. Why did you choose that university? Was it because of the weather? Was it because of the health reason? Was it because of the programs? Was it because of the football club? Whatever it is, you need to show that you did your research. You applied more than one university. So all those things are very, very crucial, no matter how it is. And you need to have all the documents required, including I-20 immigration form number 20, which indicates the university, who pays for your education, all other good stuff over there with your passport unexpired, things of that nature which are required when you are applying for student visa. And that's the reason why one person can get you student visa and another person cannot get you student visa. And in case you are denied, you are allowed to reapply for another time. You have to pay, but there is no appeal for the US visa. It is a privilege to come to the United States of America. So if you denied, make sure that you find what is the reason, or if you didn't have certain documentation, make sure you have those documentation properly arranged. And if you have any particular question regarding to the student visa, US student visa, please put on the comment below. Have you ever been denied the US student visa? Right here and tell me the reason why, or didn't you know why you were denied the US visa. Sometimes you might have everything, but they still can deny you. And if they deny you the second time, take a little break and just find the reason more in detail. So don't just say like first time, second time, third time, fourth time. Why are you forcing? Like, there are other countries. You want to pay for your studies? Go to Norway. There is no school fees, tuition fees in Norway. There is a video here. I'm talking about free education in Norway. So just watch the video about Norway, but specifically visa in US and life in US, how to succeed, and everything you need to know about student visa in the United States of America. I'm talking the student visa because I was once international student in your shoes. I was Fulbright J1 exchange visitor visa. I'll talk in another time. I got that one, but at one point I was a student, international student with F1 visa. So I went through all the processes which you needed to have a student visa, and I've been advising thousands and thousands of people, helping thousands and thousands of people on how to prepare for these interviews, what kind of documentation you need to have, and to make some prep on that. But don't cram, don't try to memorize these questions. What you need to know is be yourself, be honest, and understanding the concept behind about this question. Don't start like the first question they ask, oh, I forgot that question. Don't memorize. Remember the point. Who is paying for yours? Make a research. Oh, my uncle is doing this kind of business, he's having this kind of whatever. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so let me end up here. And I once ask you again to subscribe to my channel here. Click on the subscription button here. Then watch the videos here, and here. All these videos are very important, suggested videos. Even if you are not going to direct as a student, there are visiting visas videos. There are green card information here. There are different ways of how to come to America and other countries. Subscribe to this channel. You can be able to watch so many videos. Just even if you are not in the US yet, or you want to go to Europe, there are so many good information and ways on how you can succeed. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. I really appreciate for your support, which have been given to me watching my videos and sharing to others people. Keep doing that and keep commenting here. I'll be here down here, making sure that I respond to your comments as soon as possible. Again, this is Ernest Boniface Makulilo. Salute, everyone, and goodbye.